Hi everybody, my name is Mr. Nate and today I'm going to be taking you through the ICT lesson review for grade 4 class. I know that your teachers have been teaching you since school resumed and you've been introduced to some of the things that we're going to be doing, some of the amazing things that we're going to be doing this term. So what I'm going to be doing every weekend is to do a review of those lessons just to help you remember all the things that your teacher has taught you through the week. And then I'm also going to be helping you out to do your homework, which I believe this will help us to understand what your teacher is teaching you even much better. But before we go on this particular lesson, I'd like you to scroll down this video and follow us on YouTube and then like this video. This will help us to post more of this kind of videos regularly. I hope you've done that. Okay, so let's move on to the lesson. So like I told you earlier on, this lesson is for those of us in grade 4 and we are looking at the week 1 and week 2 lesson. And this talks about the complete computer system. And our reference book is from your ICT textbook, your Introduction to Computer Studies. Now, what are the learning objectives? Now, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to say what a computer is in your own words. You should be able to mention the elements of computer. You should be able to differentiate between the software and the hardware. You should be able to mention the uses of the computer system, and then we would also learn how to set up the computer system together. Although you would have to practice this in school, although I believe you have practiced this in school already. But I'm just going to show you a few pictures and then explain, and then I hope that you will understand better. Okay, so what is a computer? A computer is an electronic machine that accepts data, processes data, stores data, and produces useful information. Computer systems are smart machines invented to help humans work in their daily activities. Some computers have been invented to replace human effort, for example, the ATM. Now listen to what I'm trying to say because I just read what we have on our slide here. Now the computer is an electronic machine. Now when we say it's an electronic machine, it means the computer system works with electricity. And there are different forms of electricity. It's either our electricity is from generator, it's either we are using our electricity from the solar system or from inverter, or we are using the regular PHCN, which we all know as NEPA. There are some other source of electricity just like battery. Like we know our laptop uses battery and then it uses electricity, the one from generator or NEPA, whichever ways. Which means that we can charge our batteries and then our computer can work for a while without being connected to the electricity. Now, I also said that computer is a machine. Apart from the fact that it's an electronic machine, it accepts data, which means that humanware means a computer user. So you are a humanware, I'm also a humanware, a web designer is a humanware, a programmer is a humanware, a computer engineer is a humanware. Anybody who can use the computer system is referred to as humanware. Now back to what the computer is. I've already told you that the computer is an electronic machine, and I've told you that it accepts data from humanware. It means that computer cannot work on its own except you and I or somebody who can use the computer system operates on the computer. So when you are operating the computer, it means you are sending data into the computer. The job of the computer is to accept the data and process that data. Now processing the data means computer organizes the data, it changes it into something meaningful, and then the computer produces useful information. There are different organizations that use the computer system for different things. For instance, in the banking sector, they use the ATM machine. Instead of having one person attend to so many people at the same time, the ATM machine can make that work easier. So the computer system varies in different forms. So we have different kind of computer. We have the laptop, we have the desktop, we have the tower computer. The ATM machine is also a type of computer. There are so many types of computer, but that is not actually the major part of this lesson. I just want you to understand that computer accepts data, processes data, which means computer changes, organizes data, and then produce useful information. Now, what are the elements of computer? Now, when we say elements of computer, we are talking about the things that makes up the computer system. One of them is the hardware. And when we say hardware, we are talking about all of the parts of the computer system. Every of the parts of the computer system that you can see and you can touch, they are all referred to as humanware. Your keyboard, your mouse, your joystick, your light pen, your microphone, your speakers, your printers, they are all referred to as hardware. Now, software, just like we can see number 2 here, software are computer programs. They are computer programs that makes the hardware to work together. For instance, my mouse here is a hardware. The keyboard on my laptop is also a hardware. The monitor of my laptop is also a hardware. All of this hardware cannot work on their own except there is a software that is running on the computer system. So software are the computer programs that we use for our daily activities. Software helps all of the hardwares to work together. Then the third one, which is the humanware, are the computer users. I told you that already. Anybody who can use a computer system is referred to as humanware. So moving on now, talking about hardware, there are different types of hardware, or the hardware are categorized into 3 types basically. And then first we have the input devices. Examples of input devices include the mouse, the keyboard, the scanner, the light pen, the microphone. These computer parts are used to send data into the computer system. For instance, while I am moving my mouse, you can see that my cursor is moving, right? It means that the mouse is sending data into the computer system. If I decide to type using my keyboard, you will see what I'm typing on the screen. It means the keyboard is sending data into the computer system. This is the reasons why the mouse and the keyboard are referred to as input devices. Same as the microphone. So the microphone is an input device because it takes sound into the computer system. Now let me quickly show you a picture of the input devices. So you can see the keyboard here is an input device because when I type my letters, my numbers, it goes into the computer. This is the mouse. You can see as I am moving my mouse, the cursor is moving on the screen. This is the microphone. Now this is the sound, this is the microphone for the sound system. Laptops and computers have their inbuilt microphone. So as I am speaking, my voice is going into the computer system directly through the inbuilt microphone of my laptop. This is a scanner. You can see on the scanner there's a picture here. If you place this picture in this scanner and then you press the scan button, this picture will be automatically sent into the computer. That makes the scanner an input device. Now this is a joystick. I know that some of you know about PlayStation. You play football games, PS, and then you play Mortal Kombat or you play Mario Kart on your computer or your TV at home using the joystick. Now because the joystick can control all the characters, it makes the joystick an input device. And then lastly, we have the light pen. The light pen is also an input device. Some tabs use light pen. Once you use the pen to write on the screen of the tab, whatever you're writing goes into the tab or into the computer system. For some of us that uses smartboard in our school, you notice that the smartboard usually comes with a pen. And then when you write on the board, whatever you're writing automatically shows in the screen. So these are the reasons why all of these computer parts are referred to as input devices. And then another one I want to talk about is the output devices. These devices are used to bring out information from the computer system, either in hard copy, form, sound, audio, visual, etc. Examples of this hardware are output devices. Example of these output devices rather include the monitor. Why is the monitor an output device? Now, while I am explaining, you can see my screen, right? My screen is what is bringing out what I am doing. It is showing what I'm doing. It is showing what is inside the computer. That is the reason why the monitor is an output device. The printer here. The printer here can be used to print out documents. So for instance, if I type a document, I need to bring it out, I will use the printer to do that. The plotter does similar thing as the printer, and then here we have the speakers that usually bring out sound from the computer system. Now, what are the uses of the computer? There are so many things we use the computer system for, but in order to summarize the lesson, we said computer is used for communication, computer is used for entertainment, computer is used for research, computer is used for education. There's so many other things that you can say that the computer is used for. Now, how do we set up the computer system? Setting up the computer system means connecting all the computer parts together so that they can work as one machine. You know that this is a keyboard, this is a mouse, it's separate from the computer. There is a keyboard, it works on its own. There is a monitor, there is a system unit. All of them are apart. Although I am using a laptop here, and a laptop is all in one computer. The monitor, the mouse, the keyboard, they are all connected together already. There's no need to separate them. But all of the computers, most of the computers you use in your school are not. Some of you don't have laptops in your school, you have desktop computers, so you have the opportunity to see the system unit, the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse all separated. When you connect them together, they become a computer system. Now, how do you set up the computer system? Now, don't forget I said the system unit is the major part of the computer, so I can call the system unit the father of all the computer parts. Since it is the father of all the computer parts, every other part are connected to the system unit. And I'm going to show you how to connect the system unit. Now, there is a part here, it's the power port, or it's a power pack. Now, this is where you connect your system unit to the electricity from. So if you want to connect the system unit to electricity, you do that from this power unit, and then there is a cable that does that. This is a power cable. Now, the power cable supplies electricity to some of the computer parts, majorly the monitor and the system unit. So with this cable, you can connect the system unit to the computer system. So all you just need to do is to plug the cable to this part. Now, another part I want to talk about is the VGA port. Now, the full meaning of VGA is Visual Graphic Array. Now, this VGA port is used to connect the system unit and the monitor together, and there's a cable that does that. So you can see the VGA port is blue color. Now, there is a VGA cable. Now, this is a VGA cable. You can see it also has a blue port. So it means that you connect black to black, blue to blue. So black is the power cable going into the power port. The VGA cable is going into the VGA port here. And then we have the HDMI cable. Now, the HDMI cable does similar work with the VGA cable. The full meaning of HDMI is High Definition Multimedia Interface. Now, this cable does similar work with the VGA cable. They are used to connect the system unit to the monitor or the system unit to the projector. If you want to connect the HDMI to the computer system, you connect it to one of these ports here. But this system unit doesn't have HDMI ports clearly, but a lot of system units have HDMI ports. So because the system unit does not have HDMI port, it means we would use the VGA cable to connect the system unit to the monitor. Now, another cable we want to talk about is USB cable. The full meaning of USB is Universal Serial Bus. and then it is used to connect all other removable devices to the system unit. For example, you want to connect your phone to this computer, you use your USB cable. You want to connect your camera to the computer, you use USB cable. You want to connect your hard disk, external hard disk, you use your USB cable. So this is a typical example of a USB cable. Now there are different types of USB cable. There's USB cable to printer. Mouse usually have USB cable too. Now this is my mouse. It has a USB port. If I want to connect my mouse to the system unit, I connect it through the USB port. The same thing with the keyboard. If I want to connect the keyboard to the computer system, I use the USB port. And then last thing that I want to talk about here, okay, not the last thing, but still talking about the printer cable. You want to connect the computer system to the printer, you can use the printer cable. There are different types of printer cable. There's a USB printer cable, and then the last cable that I want to talk about here is the network cable. This is used in setting up a network among two computers. So if I want to connect two computers together, so this is laptop 1, I want to connect a laptop 2 to I want to connect the laptop 1 and laptop 2 together so that they can share files. I can use the network cable. So basically these are the things that we have been doing all the while. Now I'm going to drop a link shortly after this video. It's a quizzes link where you have to practice the activity that that comes after this lesson. These activities will help you to practice and test your knowledge, and I believe that at the end of all of this you will be excited about everything that we have done today. I hope you enjoy the class, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.